week. There are two reasons why we launched this project. Firstly, when I talked with the sustainable manager and the MCR green officers in my college, I found that many students have a basic understanding of climate crisis, but they do not know how to engage in climate action. At the same time, the lockdown caused by the COVID-19 pandemic made the annual Green Week of Hillside interrupted. Then we realized that it is time for new action. The first part of our Green Week is to liaise with the Center for Climate Engagement in our college and invite them to hold 3 fair chats for our students. The fair chats focused on the topics of law, stakeholder engagement, and digital technologies, respectively, which provided different perspectives for our students to engage in climate action. They also organized a lunchtime chat for our students and introduced their summer internship program. The second part of our Green Week is a library display. We reached out to our library director and organized a small-scale display in our library. The display covered knowledge about climate crisis and detailed suggestions for students on how they can make a difference in their daily life. So when students wander around the library, they can enjoy learning these inspiring facts and tips. Then it is the part that I made the most contributions to. The previous Green Weeks in Hillside mainly focused on recycling, such as encouraging students to use their own cups instead of providing disposable cups. But when I did research online, I found that textiles can account for 10% of global carbon emissions. Therefore, we reached out to the Cambridge Carbon Footprint, and they provided us with the clothing swap kit. We organized this activity in our MCR bar. In this event, we finally collected 50 kilograms of clothes, which contributed to reducing more than 150 kilograms of carbon emissions. These are some pictures of our activity. Many students came to the MCR bar and picked up the clothes. We also distributed the Cambridge climate map to our students and introduced the mission of our activity. Many students were very impressed, and they said in the future they are willing to participate in similar events and make contributions to reducing carbon emissions. The last part of our Green Week is about green formals. The previous Green Weeks in Hillside only provided vegetarian food, but we all know that not everyone enjoys vegetarian lifestyle. So this year we had another green formal that provided local food and plant-based food because transportation can also contribute a lot to carbon emissions, and we want to encourage our students to choose more local food and plant-based food. You can see on our menu, we also specify the locations where the ingredients were transported and the locations and the distances from the college. When I liaised with our partner, Cambridge Carbon Footprint, I found several ways of taking climate action in our daily life, such as through home energy, transport, food, and shopping. Also, business and organizations can also play a key role in climate action. For example, they can undertake climate audit or publish their carbon emissions on their official websites. Furthermore, climate leadership is very important to achieve net zero transition. For instance, students can actively participate in designing scientific and sustainable solutions to climate crisis. If you are interested, you can go to their official website and get more information. In the end, I want to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Cambridge Hub, Cambridge Zero, and my college Hillside, which has given me strong support during this process and inspired me to launch this project. I think in the future, I will continue my journey of climate action. Thank you.
Now, last but not least, we are going to hear from this year's sustainability hero. I don't know whether you know that you are this year's sustainability hero yet, Ivan. Well, congratulations, and thank you for speaking today.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't make it earlier on. I'm a catering manager and we had to do lunch. So here we are, lunch is finished and now I'm here. So what am I talking about? Yeah, food. I mean, the biggest question is why? First of all, why should we go to all this trouble to sort of reduce carbon footprints, make the world better because of the food that you eat? Okay, we're not eating it, we're producing it. I mean, it's been used before, so POR and Nemchek, I think that was used earlier on. There's loads of scientific evidence out there that our food is a huge contributor to climate actions from there. So why bother? I don't know if you know, we've got a Cambridge food writer called Bee Wilson. She does a lot of work in schools. But she said that we've got sort of 3 areas where we can educate people about food. We can either teach them, primary school, secondary school, higher education. This is the last chance where we've got pastoral care over the people who come into the university. And we can actually nudge, green nudge, influence some choices they make. So hopefully we can do that from here. So hopefully this all works. So this is, it's been used a lot. Some Oxford academics, but it's been used a lot since sort of 2018. Before this, POR and Nemchek have done a lot of work on this. I've used this a massive amount because it just clearly demonstrates where the problem areas are, and it just shouts out beef and lamb up the top there, prawns, beef, dairy, herd, all the way going through. So you get a lot of news. We've had it in the news about Cambridge University, so the University Catering Services, they went beef and lamb free. My phone didn't stop ringing. I'm the chairman of the Catering Managers Committee. I had bursars phoning me up. I had butchers phoning me up saying, Cambridge University is stopping beef and lamb. Why? Why didn't you tell us? So I think we have to be careful with communications out there. They have stopped it. There is one other college that has stopped serving beef and lamb for the last 4 years, nearly 5 years. Us. We didn't tell anybody. We told them after a year. And they were, oh, that's fantastic. So that's part of one in the house. So, yeah, it's easy just to preach. I can stand up here and preach and say, right, okay, you're all going to eat plant-based food, and that's all we're going to serve you. That's me making choices for you. And I think that causes friction. I don't think that's about choice, which we're very sort of pro-choice. But we want to be responsible. Darwin College, 750, 800 students. 75 different countries. We're a very diverse population, as I'm sure most colleges are. So we've got to offer choice. That's the most important thing, choice. People want to come in. Food is there to bring you all together, sit down, have a meal, have a chat, eat something nice, we hope, and then go on and do the rest of your day. So food's important, but it's not the most important thing from there. So, yeah, the easy way would just go, that's fine, black and white. You know, no more beef, no more lamb. We'll just do plant-based food, you know, I can take for now. I don't think that that's the way to go. Education is, though. But you can't do that without support within your college. I'm just going to put some names up here. These are the most important people, not me, within our college for plant-based food. Matt Turpey, our head chef. Strapan Kunkowski, our sous chef. Connor Tidy, our third chef. Shane Batista, Pedro Silva. These are 5 chefs, that's all I have, and I asked them to do a huge amount to make cost-effective food, to make flavoursome food, to have formal halls, dinners, we do extra work, blah, 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 blah. And then along comes Ivan, sort of saying, I will ignore that, that says, right, okay, I want to do more plant-based food. Oh, God, yeah, right. So, these people are key, and I think anybody going back to the college and everything, you've got to look after these people. It's not me doing it, it's these guys, it's the chefs. They're going to be cooking it, you're going to be eating it. So please do bear that in mind. So really look after them. Nudges, a lot of people talked about this. These are all the same thing. Vegan, It's plant-based or soy-glazed aubergine with ginger. They could all be the same dish, but we choose not to name them vegan, choose not to name them plant-based. We actually make the dish. Because we spent some time with our chefs, we said to them, okay, let's have some nice plant-based food. There's great options out there. But if they can make a nice soy-glazed aubergine with ginger, why not just celebrate that? Doesn't matter if it's vegan, that's a bonus. It's plant-based, that's great, and we take it for now. But also, they always come up first on our menus. So the first thing you see is that. So it's not vegan, so we're not preaching, and so take it for now. So that's important, nudges. Okay, from there. Would you eat that? Not really. Would you eat that? Maybe, a little bit better. I mean, it's not my best photo. So you've got to make it attractive. It's going back to the chefs again. So you can do all the word and do all the word, but you've got to make these dishes attractive for people to entice them to eat. On the right there, that is just a carrot, a Fenland carrot that we served at our big feast nights. And the chef, we did this last year, and the chef came up to me and went, I don't know how well we're going to do this, but I just want to do a carrot for the starter. I was like, what? Just a carrot? Okay. But, you know, he's infused it, he's pressed it, he's done all this, he's got sort of black powder with all that. And it's a local Fenland carrot, and he really made it taste more like a carrot. But again, goes back to the chefs, they took this care about it. And we served a carrot, and he went back to basic ingredients. So I think, again, it just says, get the chefs behind you, think about where you put it on your menus. But, you know, the choice between those two dishes, you know, and there's a chicken dish down there as well, you know, you've got to, so it's got to be presentation as well from there. You need to engage as well. I think that's where I probably come in as a catering manager. We've got to engage. It's not just me saying, right, chefs, we're going to cook this, we're going to take it from there. You need to engage, and you need to get out there and get the involvement of your college. At Darwin College, we're very, very lucky. It's a very communal college, and I've got the backing of the college for all of this. They're very supportive, and I think without that, it'd be very difficult. I know a lot of my colleagues have some barriers in them that they don't want choice taken away from them. But I think we're giving them extra choice, so look at it the other way. So engaging. So one of them, insect formal hall. Sounds disgusting. Don't know. But actually, it went very well. We can't do that now anymore. We're not allowed to sell bugs since we left Brexit, but there we go. But actually, this was engagement from some other students, and it's called Insects and Wine. So it's about insects and sustainable wine. They did the evening. We followed it up with a formal hall. Where does your waste go? So these are all just sort of projects that we ran through about to engage and taking everything from there. That's me doing a plant-based or an aubergine workshop. Where we just show people how you could do it, just take it from there. It's all about engagement. All our foods, all our in-house foods, so these are canapes, are all plant-based now. And again, we just brought them in, we didn't tell anybody, no one noticed, we kept going. And that's some competition work that our chefs have done in the last couple of years to a national standard, and won awards for that. Again, plant-based. But it's just good food and good chefs, so they enjoy that. And we have a lecture series in Darwin College every year, the Darwin Lecture Series. Last year it was on food, which I loved, I thought it was really great, so we themed all the menus from that. And again, it's just been about creative. I mean, one of the talks was about, should cats and dogs go vegan? What are we going to do for a menu for that one? It's just terrible. But so we put some tins of cat food on the table, which had actually, they were fake, and we just put some nice vegan sweeties in them. But I think what I'm trying to say is that just, you know, engage, make it a bit fun, make it a bit light-hearted. Don't take it too seriously. Don't preach. Let's see if this one works. But once you've got to all that stage, you've got all this food, delicious food you have. Don't waste it. You've done all this work, and just do I have to drag this one over? If I go over this one, is it just drag?
Sorry.
Okay, well, that's And we started Community Fridge, which we won an award for last year, and we followed it up this year with its own Twitter feed. So I think if we can scroll through, can I scroll through that? if you scroll through that, you'll just see, so every day we post any food that's left over from the servery, we stick an allergen label on it, and we put it in the community fridge for the students, and they can have that for nothing. And why not? A lot of people say, well, you're going to lose sales. Well, it doesn't matter, it's going to go in the bin. The chefs actually hate this, because they see all their work going into these boxes, and people get it for free, and they go, oh, all my extra work. So it actually does help our waste control, because they cook less. Take it for now. But again, we're stopping food going into the waste stream. So we'll take it for now. And now I need to get back to thanks my assistant. Yeah. Oh, you've got to go with me. I think basically last slide, it just says, be bold. Encourage your teams. Unless you're cooking out the colleges yourselves, really encourage them, engage them, support them to do all this. But to be bold, really, about it. Let them take some steps forward, let them take some risks. But it's really about, so beef and lamb. We took the decision, we went ahead, and we told people afterwards. But the biggest challenge there was, okay, what was going to be the friction with that? And that really worked. But most people upset with that with the chefs, because they couldn't make a lasagna, cheap meals, bolognese, everything, all those sort of things. Canapés, again, more challenging for them. But this is all being supported by training, gone down to London, to restaurants, the Animal Humane Society, which again, the Catering Managers Committee are now looking at setting up more training programs. So do encourage your teams to get in there for you. And thank you for the award, apparently. Thank you very much. Okay.
Another massive round of applause for all of our amazing presenters. I'm now going to hand over to Professor Ian Leslie to say a few words to just close the event, and after that we'll have some refreshments in the garden. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks very much. I'm Ian Leslie. I'm chair of the Environmental Sustainability Strategy Committee. The first thing they teach you on a leadership course is don't stand between people and refreshments. So I'll be very quick. I've smiled at the references to the inability of the university to be agile. But part of the reason is because we are so devolved. And that does mean that we're agile in certain ways, i.e. you are agile. You can make changes more quickly. We have to do these things at all levels. From international agreement to individuals and everything in between. So thank you so much for doing what you've done. Please keep doing it. Please keep telling other people to do it, because that's one way in which we can be agile. And the lack of agility at the other end is kind of one of my problems, but that's one of my problems. I'd also just like to thank Susie. Through the years, sometimes we say how many actions have been taken. I think if we added up all the actions that Susie has been involved in, encouraging, engaging, and etc., we'd be into the tens of thousands. So it's not just organizing this event every year, but it's also just your continuous infectious enthusiasm, continued engagement, and you're also a great AV technician on the side. So with that, thanks very much indeed. Refreshments.